All right, real quick video, Israel, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakah Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Most salutations to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect, most high will. To the hopeful extended elect, shalom blessings. We're living in a time of AI, we're living in a time of fake news, staged events, some of it's real, a lot of it's fake. And they've always done this. I think even with the weather manipulation, but, even taking it back to the old school, regarding, uh, things that happen in the neighborhoods of Jake. There's a lot of propaganda. It's kind of like, they put all this stuff on the news about Jake, about killing each other, drugs and gangs. And then so when, the average Jake go outside, he'd be like, well, I got to get armed. I got to, and he'll have that attitude, or that aura of like, can't trust niggas, can't, these niggas are, these niggas are coming to get me, F niggas, F bitches, they is, like it's all bad. And of course, the neighborhood Jake has failed in the neighborhood. The community has fallen in the neighborhoods, of course. The curses are there. But what Jake don't understand, that's a mental thing, and it got a lot to do with your belief system. That's why Yahweh Shai, when he was on the earth, he was talking a lot about belief. Like, believe this, and this will, be unto you. And it says right here, Proverbs 14:15, the simple believeth every word. So they believe what these devils are saying. They believe in all the news, all the politicians, like even with, if a politician say that they're trying to, make America great again, they're trying to, keep out the drugs, especially these ninjas that go for degrees and success in America, their thing is going to be like, well, the more you rise up in this society, the more you believe what these the rulers of this society teach you or tell you, because that's your goal anyway, is to succeed in this place. So, of course, it's like when somebody's on a course and they if they play basketball, anything that's said about basketball, they can be encouraged by, they're going to listen to it, they're going to exercise it. But they might be in a as far as with NBA and all these sports, just using the sport as an example, it leads to the care of the Illuminati for business purposes, for sacrifice purposes. So you could say a lot of stuff good concerning whatever Jake is into. Go out there and hopefully if he's a rapper, hey, hopefully you do well on your first album and all that. But if it's under this wicked vibration, there's nothing that you can encourage him to do that's going to be better for him. Just like helping out a drug addict, you basically supporting his drug habit. Every time you see him, you give him money and he's going to buy drugs. So that's kind of like how they feed the beast, how they feed the system, which is the image of the beast. The beast is NATO and EU, but it's a conglomerate type of elite men, fashioned men that have control over the world right now. So, when they see things on the news, which been staged for years, Um, I'm talking about Jake. When they see things on the news, they believe everything on the news. They believe everything. That includes politics. That includes these celebrities. That includes anything but us, really. Because if we were on the news or if we was on it, even with YouTube, speaking in terms of being on a platform, uh, they still don't believe the truth, you know. But now they kind of getting it because a lot of falsity out there, a lot of fabricated stories, a lot of especially when it comes to celebrities. And I always use them because as an example because they're high in the seat. Uh, that a lot of them pull Jake in by them being idolized by Jake. So it's like same thing with if you're simple, you believe it like that's like a man. Yeah, if you call if a man is a simp, basically that's saying he believe concerning these women, like that's a term that basically he believe everything these women are saying. That's a simp. Simp is a short word for simple. But they believe every word. But the prudent man looketh well to his going. So yeah, he prudent man. He figured like no, it's something deeper than this. It's something behind this. It's what I'm saying. Something ain't right. Uh, so they all this is done by the Illuminati. All this is done by elite men working to control this planet, basically. The weather, they say, well, it's gonna be, they got the sirens out there and they want everybody in panic mode. And yeah, the storm is coming near you. Well, in the scriptures, Yahweh Shai rebuked the wind. He rebuked the wind, and then they were moved by it to say, what kind of man is this that even the wind obey him? So meaning that faith plays a very important part of what we do and how we live our lives. They do scare tactics. They scare you in court. You against the state, you against the people, and make you feel small, and not believe in the Most High, not believe in Yahweh Shai, not believe in yourself. They're trying to really take the belief of our power out of our minds by displaying tactical works, on high levels to where it kills your self-esteem, it kills your, belief in a higher power, kills your belief in Yahweh Yahweh Shai, and make you dependent upon them, upon their system. Did I get another scripture? Let me look up simple right quick. And it says a lot of it's mentioned mentioned 20 times. It says Proverbs 9:16, who is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanted understanding, she said to him, well, I'm gonna get this one. Proverbs 14:18, the simple the simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Yeah. Prudent man. And let me look up that word simple. Because when they had a term for believing in something strange or believing something that might be beyond human understanding. They call it a conspiracy theory. And then our people was like, yeah, nah, that ain't right. That is conspiracy. They was tossing that term around just like they were until evidence started being shown. And then they were like, nah, damn, they really are doing these things. They really are sacrificing people. They really, Hollywood is that wicked. The celebrities are even sacrificing people, babies and all that. So it wasn't, so that conspiracy theory has kind of faded. Now they're going to use another term. I don't know what, but they twisting, they're maneuvering just like a serpent would to keep that lie going, because the lies are being found out. Simple. It says Pathaya. Pathaya.
Strong's H6612. Pathi.
Pathi is how they pronounce it, but it's Pathaya. Pathaya. Or Pathaya. Simple, foolish. And it go that word from, you get it from naive. Simple, foolish, open-minded. See, they talk about, you see that? They talk about be open-minded. You're not open-minded. Really, you're supposed to be closed-minded. Because you could get more focus out of that. You could key in on certain things when you're closed-minded. Like, see, open-minded means you're going to believe it's too much that you could believe in. Because you open to everything. You're open-minded to everything. Like, yeah, let me have an open mind and see, oh, that does sound right, and it'd be the wrong thing. And a lot of people say that you're not open enough. You're not open. Have an open mind. See the other side for what, and we don't need to see the other side, man. It's the fool and it's the wise man. If you open your door, if you're a wise man and you open your door to an enemy, the opposite is going to be a foolish man. And that foolish man is going to tell you all the great things that and all the benefits it is to be an open-minded person. But yeah, seducible. Yeah, you're seducible. You could be seduced by these spirits. Flat Earth. MOTB not being the sea help. You could be seduced. The prophets were seduced by Jezebel. You could believe something for a long time, and then all of a sudden another spirit come in, or a thought of mind, and somebody open your mind to something else, and you could be seduced. You'd be like, damn, I thought that person was they was very adamant and very on their stuff about this and that, and then now they saying they don't believe in that no more, because they were seduced. They became open-minded, which is basically like opening the door, for everybody that comes. Like a parent said, hey, don't open the door for nobody. Close that door, keep it closed. And you open that door, somebody keeps knocking on that door. You're like, open up. You're not even supposed to say anything. But they say, open up. It could be your uncle. And your mother say that, yeah, even if it's your uncle. Even if it's this person and that person. Don't open it up. Well, what if it's the rent collector or a lawyer? Don't open it up for nobody. What if it's the police? Don't even open it up for them. But the child being seduced or being in fear of the voice outside the door, especially when if it's of authority, he opens the door, and next thing you know, it's all bad. So we ain't opening the door to these devils, man. We ain't opening the door to these two soothsayers or these liars or these false prophets, man. We're not going to be seduced by the devil, because the devil stages everything. He lies. It tells you in the scripture that he's a liar. He was a liar from the beginning. He's a murderer from the beginning. He's a liar and the father of lies, man. So if they tell you that, hey, the Israelites are not so-called black people, Latino, Native Americans, the CHIP is not, the MOTB is not the CHIP, or that's not, the 12 tribes don't even exist no more. That's they lying, man. And what's the proof? We're living it. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Anyway, I think that's it. To the next video. I think I had another definition. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 2:11, that Satan should be getting advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And his devices is a lot. His devices come in psychological methods, technical methods, the CHIP, his devices of what he shows on TV. This is America. He's the covering cast. This America shows things under the lenses of only what they want to show you. Like even with the news concerning the other nations. They got talks upon with these other nations that they don't even really want. They want to show their own citizens here in America. Because some went wrong, some went bad. And then when they get a shoe thrown at them, that's when they put it on the news and make it public and say, look, see what they're doing to the leaders of America. See what they're doing to the American citizens, invading our privacy and our freedom and all that. And they make everybody else look like a bad guy but them. And that's why these nations, Most High is stirring up these nations to hate this whore. Because she's a damn seducer, a spirit, and a liar. And it all points to Esau, but this is the core right now of Esau's head, so to speak, hunchman. Basra, their head, the power that gets the power from the first beast. This is last leg of Rome. This is exercised through the mouth of the Britain Empire, man. So, anyway, to the next video, Shalom.